Welcome to Subramani. At some particular level of net worth, the marginal utility of money starts dropping, or it does not add anything great to it. For somebody, it could be an additional 1 crore, additional 5 crores. It may not add any great value to to themselves or to their satisfaction. These people are rich, and these people are sometimes famous and many times anonymous. When I talk of anonymous, yesterday somebody was tweeting, and I said, I know people with net worth of 2000 crores living in the suburb where I used to live earlier, and nobody would know about it. Even the neighbor wouldn't know the value of their NSGL statement. Because at least one of them whom I know has created various private limited companies through which he is holding his shares. His own family does not know what he has done. He has created a network, but his chartered accountant, his brother, both of them know what's happening. I mean, I know it because he's a friend. So what happens is these people get to be rich and anonymous because they want to avoid something called social debt. Social debt is a word I picked from Morgan Housel. When he says when you're young, when you're 22 years of age and you're earning $10 million, you think that money, and you're in a poor neighborhood, then you think this money belongs to everybody. It belongs to your mother, your father, your grandmother, grandfather, all those people who have sacrificed. Or maybe your first coach, assuming this person is an athlete or a cricketer or something like that. Then you do not know how to pay all of them and how to compensate them. You don't want to create a feeling even within your own family that you've got an unlimited source of money. You're not some Akshay Patra that wherever people can dip their hand and take money. You don't want to create that impression also. But having said that, you also want to compensate maybe your coach whom you met in class 8, some coach whom you met in when you were just qualifying for a lower tournament, and today you are playing at the highest level. How do you compensate them? What do you give to your parents who have everything? What can you buy for them? So first is, don't be judgmental in what they want. Whatever they want, put a limit to what you in your head. And if you're married, sit with your spouse and decide how you will compensate. Let us say you're doing extremely well and you're settled down in the US. And you're young, you may be 35 years of age, 33 years of age, you've had a kid, your parents want to come to see you. Do you pay for the ticket or your parents pay for the ticket, right? So it's fairly obvious that you should be paying for the ticket, and as your parents get older, maybe upgrade them to business class, because not only because you can afford it, but also maybe your dad is complaining of knee pain or things like that. But sit with your spouse and decide how much you will pay for what. Right? So if you are in India, one thing you can do is take medical insurance for everybody around you. Your elder brother, elder sister, her husband, his wife, their children, whoever you want to cover. Make sure that everybody is covered for a decent 8-10 lakhs of insurance plus top up. Please buy it through a good agent who knows this business. Don't just go and buy it online, because buying medical insurance is far more complicated than buying term insurance. So please buy it through an agent. I don't think the cost changes much in case of medical insurance. So for your parents, for your sister, brother, everybody, so that what happens is you have peace of mind saying in case something happens to them, there is this fund this insurance which will take care of them. In-laws, your wife's brother, whomever you want to cover, including your servants and driver, right? So cover all of them for medical insurance, because the social debt is, if there is a problem there, they will turn to you. If there is a 40 lakh rupee COVID medical bill, they will turn to you because you are earning well. So it is bound to dip into your savings. So this kind of an insurance will make sure that you don't have to suddenly sell your equity to pay for these kind of expenses. So take insurance for all those people, your servant, your driver, their children. Don't bother. The servant is new, just joined 6 months ago, it does not matter. This is a gift which they will not even understand. This is almost like anonymous gifting, but in case there is a problem, they can fall back. In fact, if you think that your driver is the primary earning person and his family is dependent on that income and his wife is not earning much, take term insurance also, maybe for 10 lakhs, because in case of his death, you are going to support that family. So ensure that you pay for their medical expenses and medical insurance, and a term insurance for your driver, a term insurance for your maid servant, maybe for your maid servant's husband, whatever. So those are very, very minimal kind of expenses. So do that, don't feel guilty. Extend it maybe to your coach. If your coach is 40 years of age, there is no harm in taking a medical insurance for him also. So find out, this is one way of compensating people without them feeling, and without you feeling the pinch too much. But you know that whether it's your coach, whether it's your anybody who is there to help you, it could be a boy carrying your cricketing kit to your practice, could be anybody. I mean, anybody with whom you feel connected, please take a medical insurance for them. Take term insurance if it needed, and after that explain the importance of term insurance. Let them take it themselves if they can afford it. There is no harm, right? So you don't know when anybody is going to die. Maybe they drop dead tomorrow, right? You don't know. So in case something happens to them and that family gets 10 lakhs, you will have a sense of relief, because anyway it was going to be your responsibility. So that is one way of compensating all those people. How do you compensate your parents who keep saying, I don't want anything? That is a very tough and a difficult thing to do. So best is to say, look, I've kept this fixed deposit. This is what a friend of mine did. He kept a fixed deposit with his father and mother as second, and he had told the bank that whenever they want, they should be able to break it. So he said, here there is money available in case of an emergency, anything happens, you just have to take it without asking me. He also left some signed checks for his father saying, in case you want to transfer, please transfer. He was 100% sure that it won't get used, but that's what he did. I have another friend who used to stay in Mumbai, and his sister used to stay in Chennai. So he would always fly his father business class, right? Those days when Kingfisher and Jet Airways, all of them had business class, and which meant that the person, and he had enough relationship with the airlines thanks to his job, that somebody would come to the parking lot, take charge of his parents, and take them through check-in and all those things, put them in the lounge, clean his specs like his father said, give them a coffee, make them comfortable, and make sure that the check-in formalities are taken care of. Their baggage would go separately, they would go separately, and they would walk into the aircraft at the end. And he had to tell his father that all this was coming from the points that he had, and his father would protest saying, you could use it yourself, and he would say, no, I am unable to use it because I had traveled during peak season. He was paying for it. Sometimes it was bonus points, but most times he was paying for it. And he explained saying that it is actually cheaper, because otherwise I would have to go and drop him. Here this person takes care of my father, whether it is in Chennai or in Mumbai, flies them, puts them in the car, makes sure that their baggages have come. So this is a big stress reliever. So see what you can do to relieve their stress. If they are very religion oriented, you could arrange a bus for your mother's friends and send them on if you're in Maharashtra, in Ashtavinayak trip or any of those things. Some of those things you could do, saying, look, I have this happening. You could actually organize for coupons from 5-star hotels, and once in a while say, look, I've got these coupons which are expiring on 30th of September. Today is already 15th of September, so let's go and have breakfast at the Taj or breakfast at Leela or something like that. No, is it something great? No, but can you do it? Yes. This is another nice way of rewarding your family from withdrawing from equity, because they should also feel the success, the advantage of investing in equities, right? So these are some of the things that you can do. And some of the things, I mean, you could buy a gift if your mother wants it, not because your mother needs it, not because your mother is going to use it, but simply because your mother wants to say, look, my son bought me this, right? It could be jewelry, it could be a dress, it could be a purse, whatever you want to give, right? So, but your father may be more difficult to please because he may not want any of those things. So it could be a pen, it could be a watch, and you could say, look, I was there and I got this as a gift from somewhere, so it costs money. But problem is, how will they use it? Will they really use it? Next, don't be judgmental on how it is being used. If you have an uncle who you know likes whiskey, buy him a bottle of whiskey without being judgmental, saying, oh, you shouldn't smoke, you shouldn't drink and things like that. Don't get into that gyan giving. Finding out what they want is not going to be very easy, because most of them don't want anything. And I know families where they hide their net worth very well because they don't want everybody in their house to do charity, right? So if a guy has got a 2000 crore net worth and his wife thinks he's got 20 crores, he actually tells me, I'm very happy with the standard of living that my wife has, thinking that I have got 20 crores. He actually has maybe 250, 260 crores, right? This is another person, not the 2000 crore guy. So some of them, they hide it, they tell their brother, sister, somebody knows about it, their children know about it once they are 18. Children are quite stunned sometimes, and it works both ways. Sometimes the children want to blow a lot of money, but that blowing stops after they blow 30-40 lakhs, and then the blowing stops. So some of these things which you can do with money, I know this video has gone all over the place. How do you help those people around you? That was the aim. And the social debt of saying, okay, this money is not only mine, it belongs to everybody else, belongs to my coach, belongs to my servant, belongs to my parents, belongs to my uncle who helped me, it belongs to another uncle who helped my father when he was growing up, right? So everybody, you owe everybody something, but how much to give whom is a decision which you have to take, either sitting with your parents or sitting with your parents and your spouse, so that tomorrow the rules are laid very clearly that for my sibling I will give this much, for my cousin I'll give this much, right, for my wife's siblings so much, for my wife's cousin so much, right? Draw those lines, make those rules, because when you try to make the rules after the event has happened, it's not going to help. You could also pay for some people's higher education. I have a friend who has agreed to pay for his brothers and sisters children's education if it is abroad, right? He's got enough money to help, and he's got the willingness to help. So you decide how you want to, but make your own rules. Maybe write it down somewhere. Maybe one day you'll tear it off saying it's no use, but sit with your spouse and take these decisions. Don't take these decisions alone, because we are trying to create wealth for the family, not just for yourself. Thank you.